Good morning and welcome to this week's episode of the Upsticks channel. This week I'm very excited to be bringing the episode from the Ironbridge in the little village of Ironbridge, perhaps a small town of Ironbridge. I'm just coming up to the top of the Ironbridge itself right now. It's a lovely morning. There's some lovely cobwebs showing up on the bridge. I don't know if you can see those. I'll try and get them so you can see them. Like I say, it's 8 AM on a Tuesday morning. I actually arrived about 6 o'clock last night. I did a bit of footage of the bridge then, but it soon got rained off when the rain came down very heavy. So I'll show that footage before I proceed with this morning's little exploration. There's the bridge, isn't that lovely? I only decided to stop here about half an hour ago. I've come to a little town called Ironbridge in Shropshire, where there is the famous Iron Bridge, built in 1779. So let's go have a look, see what we can find out. Well, there's the old toll house, and I can see a sign near the top that gives the list of prices, presumably hundreds of years old. So for every time they pass over this bridge, every coach, landau, hearse, chaise, chair or such like carriages drawn by 6 horses, drawn by 6 horses, mares, geldings or mules, 2 shillings. Okay, well 2 shillings is 10 pence in today's money, but I'll work out what it was worth in, I don't know if this is 1779, I'll work out what that was worth, but yeah, interesting tolls. For every foot passenger, so if you're going over by foot, it was a halfpenny, which is about a quarter of a modern penny. So not a lot of money, but I guess people didn't earn much in those days. So it was probably a lot of money really. You perhaps only went over when you really had to, unless you were wealthy. Might be quite difficult to get an impression of the scale of it from up here, but I will go down below. I'll just try putting the camera out like that. I can feel the spot of rain. I hope it doesn't rain. I think about 10 years ago, something like that it was. It did have a lot of money spent on it. Let's try doing it this way. All right, let's go magically through the railings, see what we can see. Hopefully that's showing something, and I can see the rain on the river. So that's the River Severn down there. And I think from this angle you can get a sense of the scale of the bridge itself, and it's looking very, very fine in the evening sunlight. I just wish this rain would go away. Hopefully it's not going to get worse. I think I'm going to try and walk right underneath. You can get right underneath on a little path at the bottom by the looks of it. Let's try that out. Well, as you can see, the rain's really coming down heavy now, so I'm sheltering under a tree, and I'm going to have to wait and see if this passes before I can do anything else. Otherwise this might be a very short video. This might be a very short video indeed. Well, I think the worst is over, so I'm going to quickly dash under the bridge, and what I may do is just keep an eye on the weather and come out again when the rain has completely passed. Let's see what we can see down here then. Well, it's looking very good. So as you can see, it says the bridge was cast at Coalbrookdale. I think it was designed by somebody called Thomas Pritchard. So not Telford, not Brunel, Mr. Pritchard. Oh, it's lovely appearance down here. Can you keep looking up? At the time it must have looked so futuristic, a bit like a spaceship does now. I guess it was the Apollo spaceship of the 18th century. Fantastic. It was particularly good with the sun going down. apologise for any raindrops. I think the rain is all past now. It's very still. I might see if I can get my drone up as well, get 1 or 2 extra shots, especially while the sun's just going down. It looks lovely. Lots of little shops, bookshops, odds and sods shops, pubs, cafes and things to explore, so it's well worth a visit. Let's get over that bridge. I'm currently parked up in a car park which is right next to the bridge. I mean literally 10-metre walk, and it's completely free from 5 p.m. till 10 a.m. And then you have to pay during the daytime. But I'm parked up down there. You should be able to see me in the distance. So I'm a 6.34 metre long van. There's a V-dub just arrived, but I just fit in the space. I do overhang at the back onto the scrubland behind, but I think I'm okay for fitting in, and I won't contravene any rules about squeezing into the spaces. So the town of Ironbridge itself sits in a UNESCO World Heritage site, the Ironbridge Gorge, which, like I say, is a UNESCO World Heritage site, named as such because it is considered one of the birthplaces of the Industrial Revolution. The bridge itself was cast from iron smelted by a chap called Abraham Darby at a little village, I think it's a village only about half an hour's walk away from Ironbridge called Coalbrookdale. So I'm going to walk there now. I don't know what there is to see. Hopefully there's at least a plaque explaining a bit more about it. Yeah, so that's where I'm going. And Abraham Darby sort of perfected a way of smelting iron from, well, using coke. One of the first places to do that. Not the only, I don't think, but certainly the first to use the casts from the iron to make a whole bridge, which he did from the original designs. Well, as you often find dotted around the at least English countryside, probably British countryside, probably UK countryside, you often find the remains of lime kilns, as we can see here, which are just along from the bridge itself, only perhaps a quarter of a mile away from the bridge. These are called the Lincoln Hill lime kilns, which used to be quite tall by the looks of it, and it was continually burning, charged to the top with alternating layers of limestone and fuel, usually coke. It usually burned for a week or more to convert the limestone into lime. There you go. So it's nice to see that they've kept the remains sort of preserved in this state. That's lovely. Right, onward to Coalbrookdale. I've now left the main road through Ironbridge. I've turned right at the first little roundabout, which is signposted Coalbrookdale. There's also a park and ride up here, so if you've parked at the park and ride, that may be very close to Coalbrookdale and either a short walk or, for all I know, for all I know, I'll find out in a minute, the park and rider may actually be in Coalbrookdale. I'll let you know when I get there. You have seen where I parked last night. It was a beautiful quiet park up. I'll give you a bit more information about the prices. So between 5 p.m. and 10 a.m. it's completely free. So I arrived about 5:30, 6 o'clock. I'm not leaving till 11 o'clock this morning, so I do have to pay after 10. I can do it on an app. I've got the app downloaded. It's called MyPay, M-I-P-A-Y. And it's only £1 an hour up to £6, and then £6 will include the whole of the day. Well, this lovely old building is currently a youth hostel. I don't know its history. I shall find out a little bit about its history, because it does look like a lovely old fine building, and I'll put a little note at the bottom if there's anything interesting to say about it. I'm guessing originally a private house, not sure. I think I'll walk up to that church. Looks rather fine. I shall get a good view from it there as well. Well, at a wild guess, this road goes to the church. It also goes past this lovely looking building. Can't see a plaque, sadly. I'll have a look around, see if I can see something about it. Otherwise, again, I'll look something up on the internet. Okay, well that's unexpected. There's a stone here that says it's a Wesleyan Chapel. I was not expecting that. I thought it was an old industrial building of some sort. It's a very, very big chapel though, isn't it? Massive. Well, here is Holy Trinity Church, and it's looking very pretty. Just a dog walker here, and I think there's going to be some lovely views down the valley. I can already see some lovely views. Right, I'll carefully leave the path to avoid stepping on any graves. I don't think there's any graves here. It all looks very plain grass. Let's have a look. Wow, that's a lovely view. Down the valley, and at the bottom, that's the Severn Valley. That's very beautiful. Again, it's hard to believe that this is one of the locations considered the start of the Industrial Revolution. There's some very posh houses down there. I can always tell if there's an old house, the posher it is, the bigger the chimney stacks, and that one straight ahead of me has very big chimney stacks. So that was probably, or the people who live there consider themselves very posh and showed off by having a large chimney stack. Let's have a quick look at the church, and then I think I'll see if I can find out some information about any old buildings where they smelted the iron to forge the bridge. Not seen anything yet. I think there is a museum here somewhere. Let's see if I can find that. Well, Google Maps is telling me if I walk back this way, there is a museum of iron. Now, I don't intend to go in, but I'm hoping that the building is something to do with the old coke smelting works. Fingers crossed. Let's go and have a look, shall we? I've come down Church Road, crossed the road, and straight away I can see a very fine looking clock tower on that building. Surely that is something to do with the original forge, Abraham Darby's forge. There's some work going on, I can see scaffolding. Let's go and have a little look. I've just realised the building immediately to my left says Coalbrookdale, established 1709. I don't think the building is that old, but there's some lovely old iron forged, I'm guessing, artifacts, presumably from the old building, like some wheels with gears on, and a wheel, perhaps that drove a belt, and some iron pillars, including some more ornate ones down there, and some beer kegs that I'm sure have got nothing to do with the Industrial Revolution. Beer's been around a lot longer than that. In fact, there's some more artifacts down here. Let's go have a closer look. Yeah, here's some of the artifacts, iron items closer up. This wheel is a lot bigger than I thought. It is huge. That must weigh a couple of ton, I reckon. Look at the size of that. Absolutely massive. Let's see what else we can see. What on earth is that? That looks like I don't know what it looks like. I'm guessing something for generating water power. Almost like at the time, I guess, high-tech version of a water wheel. Can't think what else it would be. Lovely. Not sure what this is, other than something that ran on rails. Fascinating. Well, this whole area is very well presented, isn't it? I didn't know what to expect, but I was expecting a small building with a few old iron artifacts in it. I'd love to have time to go round. I will come back again and go round the museum. I just don't have time because I've got to go back home early, sadly. I was going to stay all day, but I just don't have time. Yeah, some lovely things here. An intriguing sort of statue, I think. Very nice. The Pillar of Friendship, followed immediately by a very nice flower border. And then I've got to try and work out what is in this lovely glass structure. It's obviously preserving a brick structure that otherwise would perhaps degrade in the rain. Let's go see if I can work out what it is. I don't know if you can see that, it's got a date of 1638 on that sort of structure above what looks like a fireplace or a small furnace of some sort. Ah, it's called the Old Furnace, the bellows. So they've been doing forging, smelting here since the early 17th century, I'm guessing. That is amazing. Well, I'm already intrigued enough to have determined that I am definitely going to come back here and make a special visit just to look at this museum and 2 or 3 other museums that are in the area, all within the World Heritage site. And you can see they're spending money on it. They're obviously doing quite a bit of work on the building over there with the clock tower, which is nice to see. So this is all part of the old furnace. So this building once housed a water wheel. I can hear water flowing somewhere, but it's obviously not routed right directly here anymore. Maybe that's where the axle went. What have we got over here? I think I can get in there through that through that door rather. Let's go have a look. I don't know what that is, but it looks like water. Looks a bit like a drain pipe, doesn't it? So perhaps water flowed from something into that vessel. What have we got here? Well, I can hear water flowing. Oh, that's creepy. Can you hear that? Oh, there's very fast water flowing down there. So this must be where they managed water flows for water wheels and things. But there's some underground culverts there. I just saw a duck in there running up the slope. Yeah. Wow. And what have we got down here? Any more water? It's very, I can hear water flowing down there. Ooh, there's a very dank smell in there. That is not a very pleasant space. Well, I am intrigued enough to make a special visit here another time. I'll probably come here with Jill. I don't like to sort of spend money to go in museums and things like that on my own. It's, you know, I'll enjoy it more if I come along with my wife Jill. But right now, I think it's time to walk back to the car park where my van is parked, where I've been overnight. But first, let's go and have a coffee. I'm just hoping the coffee shop is already open. Fingers crossed. Oh, that's lovely. Thank you very much. Thank you, bye-bye. Well, I'm going to call it a day there, but I'm definitely going to come back, as I said before. A very nice coffee, and they were playing music inside, so any shots I've done inside I'll have muted the music. I will just mention something else about the car park. I went on the MyPay app to pay for after 10 o'clock when you have to pay, and I want to confirm that the MyPay app doesn't take a commission, so it's £1 an hour. I paid for, you can go on the app and you can set it to pay from 10 AM, so it was only 9:30 when I paid, but you can set it from 10 AM to noon, and that just cost me £2. So to stay overnight in my camper van from about 6 o'clock yesterday till 12 noon today, although I'll be leaving about 11, it's only cost me £2. I think that's really good value. No services other than a bin, but there are toilets nearby, and there's lots of pubs and things if you need the toilet when they're open. That's not a problem. So I'm going to say goodbye to this lovely World Heritage site. I've no idea what next week's vlog will be. No idea whatsoever. I never really plan that far ahead. But hopefully I'll see you again. If you enjoyed this vlog, please give me a thumbs up, give me a like. And if you don't want to miss any more content, particularly when we go over to Wales followed by Ireland, please subscribe. And I'll see you again in the future, hopefully. Bye bye everybody.